Dusty, what what did this team learn from the Bryant game?
You mind if I defer to Elijah?
I was going to ask him the same question too.
Well, what I personally learned was that we looked a little bit out of rhythm, and then we looked afraid to fail, and then we looked like we had a bunch of really good players that wanted to do it. The intentions were correct. They wanted to put their team on their back. And so we got away from doing it together and simply taking what the game gives you over 60 or 70 possessions. And it was all, it was 3, 4, 5 of us. I felt like watching the film, and it came from a great place, but it wasn't happening for anyone on our team. And for us to have an off night with so many people on our roster, including our coaching staff, is hopefully an aberration. So there's a lot of lessons to learn from it, but most importantly, we have to continue to do it together. That's what I learned most importantly. You want Elijah to answer?
Yeah, I mean, Coach touched up on all of the things we learned from that, but just taking the game more serious, not coming in and just lollygagging through practice and preparation and stuff like that, and realizing that teams like Brian's gonna have a great game against us, that's ranked high and got all the juice and stuff like that. So that's what we learned. We learned how to attack that when we in a fall, and we know how to react a certain way.
They missed their first 15 3-point shots. Did your defense do certain things to cause that, to help create that?
Without a doubt, we were very conscious every possession of how capable they are from behind the 3-point line, their range, their movement. And so our guys took it as a personal challenge to take away the 3-point line, keep them off the free throw line. And overall, we did a great job of both. They did get a couple of looks in the first half that were clean and open. But when you switch and you get them out of their system a little bit, they're not as comfortable because their system's so good. So I do think we defended really, really well by 90% of those possessions, and then the other 10%, I think they were kind of looking around to see where our guys were going to be coming from and contesting from, because they didn't give up on any plays. I think if you saw Vlad's in the front of our bench, it looked like a wide open three, and he came out of nowhere, and it was just a multiple effort play. So I thought our guys did that for almost all the 40 minutes.
Elijah, obviously, these guys scored very well today. What helped that offense play?
Just our coaching staff getting ready, prepared. We studied our defense and we came into it with a great game plan.
Game plan.
Just take what they give us. We knew that they was going to be hard hedging, so we told the bigs to get their heads around and we're going to attack the defense that way in the short roll.
Coach Mag, being able to beat an SEC team and an ACC team during this tournament, how does this early season tournament victory set us up for the conference play this year?
Well, if you take the historical part, it means a lot. But when you look at our squad, we expected to come here and win. I know when I look down at our bench, and even when we put what we thought would be three of our top 6 out the first night, then I look the other direction, and we have 3 first-team all-league caliber players, all potential players of the year that play defense, that play offense, that share the ball, and do the right things. And then we have guys like Jalen Gaffney that just waits in the wings, and then he takes over a game, and BJ Greenlee and Giancarlo Rosado, and you go on and on and on down our roster. I'm leaving off a couple guys. And so, no, if you put a different jersey that has more historical significance, then no. But because of we're a new university, new athletic department, new basketball program, then absolutely, then yes.
And then Elijah, on the sideline today, your team was very hyped. Even when they're not in the game, they were hyped for their teammates. Can you talk about leading this team on and off the court?
Yeah, that's our coach. We great guys, and whether we having a good night, personally or not, we trying to give the next man next to us some juice and keep going. That's what we built here. A great culture. That's what you see on the sideline every game.
You talked this week about it being a different November than last year, living with the new status that you have. The loss last week, sometimes a wake-up call is a good thing. Is it good that you got a wake-up call in November?
I'm going to plead the fifth because of social media. But as a staff, we did immediately after the game ask ourselves, if we didn't lose that game, do we come here and perform with the same edge that we did for 3 games in 4 days? You never know. It's part of our journey. You know, like, immediately after the game, our response was good. We're glad it happened. We obviously can't go back in time and change it, so we're going to learn and grow, and we're glad it happened. Wish it didn't, but we're glad it did. It's part of us.
Just you guys scored the last 7 points in the first half, and I think the first 12 points in the second half. You know, what kind of changed during that stretch there? What did you see from your guys to flip the game there?
It's a game of runs, and I hate to keep talking about the Bryant game, but it's probably the first game that I can think of in the last 50 or 60 that we never had a spurt other than the first 3 minutes of the game. Throughout that game, we never had a run, and we usually have multiple runs. And I believe that our guys, throughout the course of the season, when you have to win in so many different ways, they know we have a spurt in us. Over 40 minutes with the players we have, 70 possessions our goal. We always have a spurt. So as long as we can continue to defend and rebound, we're going to have that spurt. And so we always have a spurt. And typically it's a little bit later in the game. Last year, I think when you looked at the numbers, it's between 8 and 9 minutes left in the game. And we credit it because of our depth. Number one, but also just the guys, when the spurt happens, they continue to play together and take what the game gives them instead of going off on their own and searching for the personal stuff.
Any Zoom questions?
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win and congrats on winning the Invitational. I do want to look at Jalen Gaffney, who had a stat line of 9 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was effective off the bench against Butler and has done even better since coming into the starting lineup against Texas A&M and, of course, Virginia Tech. How would you describe the impact he has made since taking part in the starting 5?
Well, within our program, it was clearly obvious how he made everyone on the court better because he was out there. And we have a lot of guys like that are taking a back seat because they want to win and do this together. And so we're very confident no matter what happens, who's out, who's in foul trouble, the matchups, whatever the case, we have a solution because of the guys in the locker room are committed to doing it together.
And Elijah, you won the Invitational's MVP award, the best player of the tournament. How does it feel to be like starting to get that form, getting your form back in shape at the right time with the big games you just had throughout the past couple of days?
It feels good, gotta thank my teammates for always having faith in me, coaching staff as well, even though I was in the slump early. And it feels good just going into the next couple of games with my mojo back, and yeah.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
Last question.
Hey, Coach, now that you've together this tournament, tell me just about what you've taken from this tournament, what you've seen out of your players so far after bouncing back from Brian. If you feel like it's going to help you when it comes to conference tournament time and also the NCAA tournament time, and one or two things that you saw specifically that you picked up on this tournament.
Well, we have to be able to adjust on the fly. We don't have a lot of prep time, so we're able to win in different ways. And once again, it's another benefit of us all being together. But to be honest, this feels great. It was awesome. But we have a really, really tough week ahead of us. And I'm already thinking about Liberty.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Elijah, congrats.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
You guys appreciate it.
Thanks, Elijah.